Hello, guys. Welcome. Melissa, we're headed to Epcot today. We picked Epcot because we got in late last night and it has a late opening. That opened till 11. Here with Kim and my niece Haley. She's got rocking the Disney Nerds podcast face mask. Haley's never been on the Skyliner. So this will be a first for her. Hey, Scott. How you doing? Thanks everyone for joining. Please share. We're taking the Skyliner from Pop Century where we're staying. We checked in last night and we're heading over to Epcot, the International Gateway. So because of the new rules and all that, oh look, it's me. Thank you. Because of the new rules, they're only fitting one party per vehicle.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Pop Century Resort and Disney's Art of Animation Resort. We are on our way to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort with connecting flights to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot International Gateway.
For those of you who haven't ridden the Skyway, the station at Caribbean Beach
over Hourglass Lake
is the main hub.
And enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
You typically transfer there. Absolutely, Mike. It's great. It's fantastic. Minutes to get to Hollywood Studios or Epcot. Hey, good morning, Bradley. Art of Animation. We'll actually be staying there in November for a few nights. Staying at Pop right now. We were originally supposed to be going on a beach trip this weekend to Orange Beach, but it got canceled because Orange Beach got hit by the hurricane. So yesterday, called my wife. I said, we're going to have to cancel the beach trip. I said,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. This is our final destination. All passengers must disembark at this station. Transfers and return service are available. Thank you for flying with us.
I said, what do you think? We're just hop in the car and drive down to Disney. So I booked a room at Pop, and that's what we did. Brought my niece with us. Normally it takes us 10 hours to drive from New Orleans to Disney. It took us about 13. Pensacola, the I-10, the bridge on I-10 through Pensacola was closed, and we had to go around. There was some damage, just trees down close to the road, so that took a little longer. Lindsay, you're not supposed to take your mask off when, like, you're supposed to keep your mask on all the rides and all. And no, it's not hot in here. If they stop, they can get a little hot, I think. But most of the time, as long as they're rolling, they're very well ventilated at the top and behind the seats at the bottom. So it doesn't really get hot in here. So we have to get off here, and then we're going to transfer to the Epcot line, which is a little bit longer than this. This one was quick. So we're going to hop out here in just a second and then go to the Epcot line. And we'll keep you guys with us until we get to Epcot. Hello, how you doing? Hello. You're welcome. A lot of people waiting in line for the Skyliner here at Caribbean. Epcot? All right, thank you. There's Epcot. There's quite a few people here lined up to get to Epcot, but it's going to move fast. It looks longer than what it is because of, you know, the social distancing markers and all that. So it's not quite as long as it seems like it is. Since the Skyliners are constantly moving, the line pretty much constantly moves too. It's supposed to be pretty warm today. It is, however, fairly freezing. I don't know if that's coming from what was left of the hurricane. We wish you were here too, man. Ian, they load wheelchairs or scooters or whatever it is you have, can be loaded. So I'll show you when I get closer, but you can kind of see right here, there's some sitting, not moving. So those are off the main line. And if you have a wheelchair, they put you in there in one of those, and then they put it in, then they move it and put it in line with the rest. And then on the other end, they do the same thing. They take it off the line and unload you. So those will stop. So they'll stop to load and unload a wheelchair or a scooter. If you guys would, please share the stream. We appreciate it. So you may be able to, this guy's in a scooter, so he's gonna have to get loaded in one of those. Because the ones that everybody else loads into are constantly moving. You have to get off and on while it's moving. But the one for handicap access for strollers and wheelchairs, or if you're just not very mobile, they sit still while they load. Yeah, it's pretty neat the way they do it. And there's a guy in a scooter right up. There's a couple, so you may even be able to see that in action when we get to it. We're just working our way in line right now, and it moves fairly quick. So just sit tight, and then we'll keep you guys with us until we get to Epcot. I got the official bag carrier for the trip. Your uncle takes you to Disney World, you got to carry his backpack for him. Beautiful out here today. Sunny. A little warm. Sure, it's going to get warmer later. But it's not terrible because the wind's blowing, so there's circulation, and it's not terribly humid. I feel like it's a little less humid. Maybe it's just because of the wind. Lindsay, at Pop, we walked right on. There was no line at Pop. But now we're at Caribbean, you have to get off at Caribbean because Caribbean is the main hub. So every line dumps off at Caribbean, and there's also loading. Like people can come to the stop that are staying at Caribbean. So this is the main hub. So this is always going to be the busiest station. And there's a little bit of a line, but it's a little bit deceiving because everybody's so spaced out, and they're only loading one group per car. So even if it's a party at 2, they take up one car, which is kind of nice if you like having the car to yourself, but it just makes the line a little bit longer. We're heading over to Epcot. Try a little bit of food and wine. All the food and wine merchandise just came out for this year. I was here in July, and food and wine had already started because they started early with all the COVID stuff. But they hadn't had the merchandise. It was still flower and garden merchandise. So yeah, it's moving pretty good. They really should think about covering this waiting area, the line. That's the only part, is you're standing right in the sun. It's moving fairly quick. You guys just hang with us. We're gonna keep you with us till we get on the Epcot line, and then we'll ride over to Epcot, which is a nice, decent ride. And you go through the turn station. There's one station that goes from here to Epcot that it has to make a turn, so it drops down and turns, but you can't get on or off there. It's just a turn. It's just a 90-degree to get you facing the right way to go to Epcot. I'm in a spot right now that I don't feel too much air moving, so it's fairly hot. I appreciate it. If any of you want to share the stream for us, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope, if you go ahead and share for us, we appreciate it. I would tell you now other than the mask, right now is a fantastic time to visit and enjoy Disney because the crowds are really low. They picked up a little bit more recently, but still fairly low. The line for the Epcot line is shorter now than it was. And it's the only one that has a line right now, and it's because Epcot opens in 30 minutes. So, good morning. Good morning. So, this is the art animation Top Century line. There's no line at all there. And then that's the Hollywood Studios line. And there's nobody waiting for that either. So all the people are waiting for Epcot, and that's just because it's about to open. Thank you, Wayne. Ian, we should be able to see one of these, them load one of these. There's a couple scooters ahead of us. More, how you doing? You can kind of see scooters and all line up right here on these ones that are stopped. And then they pull one car off to replace it. And then they'll send this one in its place. So it's pretty neat the way they do it. Yeah, now the line is not nearly as long. The line to get on this line is not to get the Epcot line, Skyliner is not nearly as long as it was when we got into it. It's much shorter. So we might have got here when the bus emptied out from Caribbean, where people were all getting on. So if you're on a scooter or a wheelchair, you would turn right here, and they're going to load you right there. If you're not, you're going to go straight, and they'll load you down here. So they're loading that one right now. They're rolling through. It's about to open. Everything else is open. So all the people here are just all the ones that have been waiting to go to Epcot. Oops, sorry. Just in a minute, put this car on. There you go. So that's the one that they loaded over. Yeah, Julie. You just go to any one of the stations you can ride. Like if you're at Epcot or Hollywood Studios, you can just walk on and go take a ride and ride it to all the destinations you want, and then take it back to where you came from. If you just want to ride it as an attraction, you certainly can. So this is interesting because they're splitting it into two lines so they can load them two at a time. Yeah, you'll be fine. All right, so this little orange one will be us. Stop on.
I'm sorry.
We're in a Toy Story one. And then you'll see us take off here in a second. And it's get moving pretty good. Barry, the weather is warm and kind of breezy and sunny. Julie, there are stations at Pop Century and Art of Animation. There's one at Caribbean Beach. There's one at Riviera. There's one at Epcot. And there's one at Hollywood Studios.
Welcome aboard, Islanders. You are on the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We're flying to Disney's Riviera Resort with continuing flights to Epcot. Hold on to your straw hat. We are about to enter the heart of the Caribbean.
If you don't have a park reservation or a hotel reservation, it may be tough to ride the Skyliner. You can do it from a park, but you're going to pay the $25 to park at a theme park. And I don't know if you don't have a hotel reservation, you have to get like people in to the parking lots. You can see the swan and the dolphin in the background. In the new hotel, it's under construction. You can see Spaceship Earth and the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster being built.
We will be arriving at Disney's Riviera Resort, a Disney Vacation Club resort that celebrates the relaxing seaports and romantic vistas of Europe's Mediterranean coast.
So this is the only station that you can stay on. You don't have to depart.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney's Riviera Resort. If this is your final destination, please prepare to disembark. If you are traveling to Epcot today, please remain seated.
So again, the Riviera station is the only station that you can just stay on. All the other stations you have to get off. And either that is your destination or you have to or your transfer. I mean, Julie, the only other thing you may be able to do is maybe get like a dining reservation like at Caribbean or Riviera and go like do some type of dining at one of those, and then you'd have access to the Skyliner. Or if you know someone who's staying at Riviera Pop or Caribbean, then you could, go there and visit them and use the Skyliner. I'm hoping to see you guys. I think we're gonna go to Springs tonight, Stephanie. I will tell you, it does get a little stuffy in these when they're in the station like this, because when they open the door, it's great, but when the door's not open, it gets a little stuffy when they're in the station. Now it's shaded, but they're not moving very fast when they're in station. So it's fan, but they don't do a fantastic job, to be honest with you. Hey, what's up, Josie? Well, thank you for joining, buddy. So we're about to take off here and then we'll get moving. Once it's moving, there's a lot of ventilation in the air. Really.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner and Disney's Riviera Resort. If you're just joining us, we are on our way to Epcot. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
They're really nice. I'm saying this is probably one of my favorite modes of transportation at this point, and that's one of the big advantages of staying at Pop Century. See the American Adventure right here. Yeah, it's funny when you turn a certain way, turning where the wind's blowing through them, it's really crazy.
In Burbank, California, where the Walt Disney Company headquarters are still located today.
Yeah, going this way, it's very, very breezy. It wasn't this breezy when we were coming in the other direction. When we made the turn, it's definitely, the wind is definitely blowing through these vents a lot. It's very comfortable in here. So that's the Swan and the Dolphin.
Pack your passports. We are on our way to Epcot International Gateway. When we arrive, remember to use your My Disney Experience mobile app or visit a Fast Pass Plus kiosk to review your worldly itinerary for the day.
Coming up on the turn station. At this station, you don't get in or out. It just makes a turn. You can see, you can see Black Spire Outpost. You can see Galaxy's Edge out that way in the distance. You can see the spire sticking up. Not easy to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we will be taking a scenic spin around the Skyliner turn station. Please remain seated. This station was designed for turning only.
We'll be here until Sunday. Drive back home Sunday. I mean, this was like a very impromptu trip. This was definitely the shortest notice I've ever done like a Disney trip on. We decided yesterday at like noon to come. We originally had I said this earlier, but for those of you who don't know, we originally had a beach vacation planned for this weekend to go to Orange Beach, Alabama, and because of the hurricane, it did some damage there. So we still had the vacation days, and I didn't want to not do anything. So I called my wife, like, we wanted to try to Disney, which we hardly ever even drive anymore. Most of the time we fly, but we're like, yeah. She's like, yeah, let's go. I said, we got the time off. Let's just go. We are annual pass holders, so it was kind of a no-brainer. Like there's some really good annual pass holder deals on rooms at Pop Century. So
Coming into view is Disney's Boardwalk Inn and Disney's Boardwalk Villas. From elegant dining
I
and
booked the room yesterday around noon, and then we drove in.
The shores of Crescent Lake, this charming seaside resort reflects the golden era of Atlantic Beach Town and turn-of-the-century amusement park.
Now, since we turned, there's still air moving, but it's not nearly as breezy as it was when we were coming the other direction. Here's the Boardwalk Resort. One of our favorite resorts to hang out at. We've never stayed there. We're going to be staying there. Part of our trip in November, we'll be staying at Boardwalk. Me and my wife just got picked up DVC. We bought DVC resale. We bought a resale contract through our friends and sponsors over at DVC Resale Market. I will tell you, if you're interested in becoming DVC, buying a resale contract and getting it through DVC Resale Market is the way to go. Nick Cotton and Derek and Marissa and all the people over at DVC Resale Market are fantastic. They made the process very easy. They've all worked for Disney DVC at one point or another, so they really know what you're talking about. So this is the back of France.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving in Epcot.
That's the working up on the Ride Skyliner.
The Disney Skyliner. All passengers must disembark at this station. Return service is available. Thank you. We hope
Alright,
you
guys.
enjoyed the most
So we're about
flight
to-
on Earth.
We're about to disembark, and we're going to be walking right there to the International Gateway, right into Epcot, and go enjoy some food and wine. Thank you guys for joining us. Stay tuned. Make sure to like and follow the Disney Nerds Podcast Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter for more live streams coming this week. Thank you.